All right, and as Joel mentioned, we're going to move back into structures. And Joel talked a little bit yesterday about asset protection, what it means, and how to achieve it. And the ultimate offshore asset protection structure is an offshore trust. And so Joel's going to get into more details with regard to trusts, what they can do for you, and the fun stuff of setting them up.
Thanks, Lee. I think first we're going to set up the podium.
Yeah.
All right. Is this where it's supposed to be?
Yeah, you look good.
Thank you. Not as good as you, though.
And do you have the clicker? I think. Let me get that for you. There it is.
So again, welcome everyone. When we looked out in the audience this morning at 8 o'clock, we knew who all the A students were. So thanks for getting up early. And tomorrow, for those of you who'd like to come to the extra question and answer session, that's at 7 o'clock. So those are the A+ students, and we'll be right here from 7 to 8. I understand it's not going to be recorded or anything, so you can come and bring and ask whatever questions you'd like. I do want to talk about trust today, and this is what I'd really like to try to cover in the next 45 minutes. What are trusts? Where did trusts come from? What are the main reasons to create an international versus a domestic trust? And how are they superior in protecting your wealth? And how are trusts used to benefit future generations? Right. So let's just dive right into it. This triangle, to me, represents the trinity, if you will, of a trust. A trust is an animal really like no other. It's not a contract per se. In a contract, you usually have two parties, right? And you have to have what's called consideration, which is what you're bargaining for. So something's going one way and something's going the other way in a typical contract. But that's not the case with a trust. With a trust, you have at the top of the triangle, you see the grantor. So that's the person putting the asset into the trust. And then below the grantor, you have two parties. You have the trustee and you have the beneficiary. Now, the trustee takes the legal ownership of the asset, and the beneficiary takes the beneficial use of the asset. So imagine this piece of paper represents your assets. And now you've torn the assets into two parts. It still is the same amount of assets, but somebody controls the assets legally, and someone has the right to use the assets. That's the beneficiary. That's essentially what is happening with the trust. And by the way, if there are questions, you want to jot them down. We'll try to deal with at least some trust questions today during the presentation.